One of Us is a dialogue podcast profiling people in and around the Diocese of Wilmington. It also appears in writing in the print edition and online at thedialogue.org. The featured subject could be someone who works behind the scenes at your church or school, volunteers at the parish, or is a regular churchgoer or longtime parish member. Do you want to suggest a person to be profiled? My name is Joseph P. Owens, and I'm editor and general manager here at The Dialogue. Drop an email to me at jowens@thedialogue.org or call 302-295-0695 if you have a suggestion for an interview subject. Maegan Cobb is a parishioner of, I forgot to ask you.
Holy Family.
Holy Family, thank you. She was nominated as a One of Us candidate by Kathy Weaver here at Mary Dell Senior Living. Welcome, Megan.
Thank you.
And we should tell our audience that we know each other.
We do.
Because you very recently left employment at the Diocese of Wilmington, but stayed with the church.
I did. I can't get too far from the church.
It's great. And actually, that's how we usually start this, is we like to try to give people a chance to get to know you a little bit. So the first question is usually, where did you grow up, and how long have you been involved with your church?
So I grew up in Newcastle. I was a member of Holy Family. My grandparents went there, so we would go with my grandparents to church every weekend. Mm-hmm. And then we became members of St. Elizabeth Ann Seton in Bear. Mm-hmm. We were there when they built the new church, back when Bishop Saltarelli was there.
Oh, yeah, right.
So, and then we moved back to Newark, so I came back to Holy Family, and I love it there. I mean, my grandmother's names are on certain things, building the gathering space, the statue of Jesus, so I always like seeing her name there, because she's no longer with us, but it's nice. It's a good community. The priests are great. The people that work there are great. The ministries are amazing. So
there's really something to be said for going to a church where you have a history.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, I don't often get to the church where I grew up, but I try to when I can, because my family grew up there.
And the memories come back.
So that's really cool for you that you are able to do that, and I'm sure Holy Family is happy to have you there.
I hope so.
So tell us about your occupation and your family.
Sure. So I am an accountant. When I got my associates in accounting, I applied for the diocese, and Joe Corsini took a chance on me and gave me a really great opportunity. While I was there, I got my bachelor's in accounting from Goldie Beacom and continued through my master's, and I got my MBA in financial management.
Yeah, where'd you get that?
Goldie Beacom.
Oh, same.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep. So I kind of started my career as an accountant there and continued through, and I was given a great chance and opportunity at St. Mary Magdalene to be their business and finance manager. So
And we were talking about that's such a vibrant place with a big school and a big parish. And Father Kirk and
there's tons of things for the little ones to do. I love bringing my son there. It's so much fun.
Family.
Yes. I have a son. He's 2 and a fiance.
Nice.
So, and then we bring my mom up to St. Mary Magdalene when we go, too. So she likes going there. And that was actually my aunt and uncle's parish.
Okay.
So I remember going there for baptisms and First Holy Communions and stuff like that. So
it seems like you almost can't be from Wilmington and not have a Mary Magdalene connection.
Absolutely.
Like, somebody went to school there, somebody's a parishioner there, your family, whatever. There's so much going on there. So we talk a lot about here at One of Us, faith and spirituality, and one of the questions is, what is the most important part of your spirituality?
I think the most important part of mine is getting together with other people that share my faith and do things ministry-wise. It's hard for me to say no when somebody asks for their help with something.
Right.
I love getting involved, even if I'm the youngest by a few decades. I don't mind it, but I think
like here.
I love Marydale. This is a very, very special place to me.
Yes, it is.
But I mean, I love hearing people's experiences, gaining insight, wisdom from them. I think it's really important to have fellowship and community. I wouldn't want to practice on my own, so I think it's really important, and especially welcoming other people, seeing new people in your church. It's always important to let them know that they're wanted there, welcome there, and to gather with them. Yeah,
I'll make a little plug on that. You want to know about people in the church? Listen to one of us.
There you go.
Go through. There's a whole page. At this point, we're over 100, and it is I was just telling one of the people that we were talking to earlier. For me, it's like meeting people who really are in the pews and highlighting people who really are the church.
I love it. Yes, definitely.
And that's, I think, what you just described. So you have an obvious connection with the church. What is it, aside from your job, you also are involved and you volunteer. What is it that keeps you going in your connection with the church?
I think earlier in my life, maybe I'd gone down some other paths, and there was always something where I wasn't feeling fulfilled or something was missing. And once I really started getting involved in the ministries and activities in the parishes and communities, even if it wasn't just my church, even other churches, meeting new people, I feel like I kind of became whole. Like that was the part that was missing. Just practicing my faith, being with other people that practice the same faith. It's just got me all together.
I'll share something with you because I have kids and they're grown, but that is reinforced. What you just described is reinforced when you have kids and when they're in part of the parish or part of the school.
Definitely.
And I say that to my wife now. We don't live where we lived when we raised our kids, and we're involved in our parish, but it's not the same. It's harder, and we try to make up for that. But I think that's what you're describing. Is it does. It's that.
I mean, and I know how stressful it can be to bring a toddler to Mass. And I think...
Or a 10-year-old.
Yes. And I mean, a 2 to 10-year-old can, have a meltdown at any point in time. And I think it's really important to make sure that not only the children, but the parents of the children feel wanted and welcome.
Absolutely. I have a pastor. We have a crying room. He doesn't open it. He wants them in the... He thinks we should hear that we have young people and we have families, and this is what it is.
Yeah, so, if there's no babies crying, the church is dying.
That's it. That's exactly right. You've heard that before. So we also asked this question. If you could change one thing in your life, and it could be your spiritual life, what would it be?
Oh, man. Change one thing.
Always makes people stop and think, which tells me it's a good question.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
If I could change one thing, it would be probably to give more than I can right now. If I could, I would pay off all my friends' houses. I would give a ton of money to Marydale and my church and make people not have to forgo things in order to be happy.
There's plenty of ways to give, Maegan. It sounds like you're giving pretty much. So that's an interesting point of view, and you're right. This place here, Marydale, is a good example, and so does down the street, John Jugan residence,
Little Sisters. Yeah,
and you've seen it. University of Delaware, the St. Thomas More Oratory. You were involved there. They do good work. So.
They're great there.
Yep. So here's another one. A non-church member comes to you and asks you, Maegan, why should I be a Catholic? What would you tell them?
I would say because I get to experience Jesus coming to us every single Sunday. It's just, we're the only ones that have that every single week. Even every day if you go to daily Mass.
That's correct.
You can experience it every single time you go to Mass.
Yeah. And
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And it's one of the great things about working for the church is you sometimes get time to have prayer and
absolutely.
Yeah.
I hear the church bells ringing every day.
Yeah. It's cool. So the last thing I often ask is, since we talk about spirituality and faith, is what does your faith mean to you?
My faith, to me, it's becoming more important the older I get. It means that this life, even though it's only temporary, better things are to come.
Yeah.
Even though things at sometimes can be bad and even horrible, and you feel like there's nowhere to go or turn to, there's always someone else.
There's always someone else. There's always someone there to lean on.
Yes.
I think that's an excellent thing to say. And, you say the older you get, you're still young, Maegan. But we do know that you gain wisdom with age.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
One of Us,
It was
Maegan
so
Cobb.
nice to see you again.
Yeah. Thank you for joining One of Us, a profile on people who support the church in the Diocese of Wilmington. And don't forget to follow us online at thedialogue.org for your latest in Catholic news and features.